Welcome, welcome, welcome. This week's episode, I'm actually going to give you my review of the Novritsch suit. So last week we were ghillie crafting it, but I didn't want to give my opinions on it straight away. I said one or two things, but this week I'm giving you all the juicy details of what I think. Enjoy. Let's get some housekeeping out of the way. Is the suit as good as a KMCS? And the answer to that is yes, and the answer is no. So let me explain a little bit. First up, if you're going to be in a forest with lots of dead leaves, lots of dead leaves, then the KMCS is probably the suit for you. The Novritsch suit is pretty darn good in terms of colour. It's actually quite neutral, and I know there's cheap Chinese leaves that everybody always goes on about. The greens actually are quite vivid, and the brown stroke greys are quite desaturated, so they blend in quite naturally because they don't stick out, which is quite nice. The Novritsch suit colours actually change every time I look at it. I don't know what it is about it. Sometimes it looks brown, sometimes it looks grey, and other times it looks very green. I've added wee bits of brown cotton just to break it up a wee bit, and it seems to be working really well. Oran's been testing out the suit for me, mainly one, to give him a chance at ghillieing, which he's doing a really good job, but also two, it means that I can see him. Whenever I'm wearing the suit, it's very hard for me to see my own surroundings in it, other than doing photos and video content for Instagram and YouTube. So by getting Oren to wear the suit, or for you guys, if you want to get your friends or whoever, your partners to wear the suit and you can check your crafting, that's a good wee tip for you. Always make sure that you can see your own suit. One thing I like about the mesh on the Novritsch suit is it's incredibly strong, and the other thing is the mesh is actually quite big. The holes in the mesh are a lot bigger than the KMCS. Just if you're using cable ties or raffia, it's a lot easier to thread stuff through, making it very quick to craft. So this type of forest floor is where the KMCS brown really comes into its own. The colours are just so good in comparison, whereas the Novritsch suit colours are just totally different. The KMCS I would describe as being very warm, and the Novritsch suit I would describe as kind of being quite greenish. It's quite strange, like I say, it keeps on changing every time I look at it, but certainly looking at it now beside the KMCS, I'm seeing browns and oranges here, and I'm seeing like kind of greens and yellows in this here suit. Is that a bad thing? Well, you guys got to decide for yourselves. Is this the type of forest floor that you guys play in, or are you going to play in something a little like this? So I'm fortunate enough to have the KMCS brown and the KMCS green anorak. Now, I didn't particularly like the greens and the yellows that were in the green KMCS anorak, which was in the first batch, I think. So I custom inked my suit to help match the vibrant greens that we get in Ireland here quite a bit. So this is the Novritsch suit, which I haven't really touched color wise other than dirtying it up with the brown inks. If you watched last week's episode, you can do so. If you haven't done, make sure you do. That'll show you what we've done work wise on the suit. But here in the green environment, it's still kind of sticking out a wee tiny touch. So I'm used to the brown suits and I'm used to the green suits, but this suit doesn't seem like a brown and it doesn't seem like a green. So if it's not brown and it's not green, does it actually work? So we have just finished kind of testing the suit. I quite like it. Warren, what do you think?
Very nice suit. Was interesting getting out and filling it up. I'm impressed with the amount of loops that it has. Lots of loops to fill vegetation in.
Yeah, so one of the things, we came across this kind of real sandy area. Sandy is in colour, not an actual beach. But it was quite light tanned grass, really dry, almost like savanna style colours, and the suit worked really well in there. We then left that area and went another 100 meters into the woodland where we were actually supposed to be going, and it worked really well in there. There's loads and loads of loops compared to the KMCS. That's one of the things that I noticed as well. So it means that you can add a lot more vegetation, or certainly it's a lot easier to add vegetation whenever there's that amount of loops. In the KMCS, sometimes I struggle to find them. So what I've done, here's a hot tip, is I've tied big clumps of raffia anywhere there's an elastic loop on the KMCS, so I know roughly where it is. I've been wearing the Novritsch suit as well, and one of the things that I've noticed is the material is different to the KMCS mesh, and it is a lot warmer and it is a lot heavier. Novritsch is pushing the boat out with his rifles. He's making that a lot more accessible to people, and now he's doing it with ghillie suits. So if you don't have the money for a KMCS, this is definitely a good option. I'll check the pricing, but I'm pretty sure the Novritsch suit is just over half price of a KMCS. The mesh is really strong, it's really easy to craft to, there's loads of loops for vegetation, the colours are okay, just give it a quick mud bath to get rid of that kind of new look, and away you go. One thing I've noticed in particular, especially in the Novritsch Ghillie suit group, is that people are adding way too many leaves to their suits. Leave spaces so it creates depth. If you just add a whole leaf suit of leaves, then you haven't disrupted the shape, you've just made that shape bigger. So guys, that's pretty much everything I have to say on the suit. It's really good, it's fairly cheap in comparison to a lot of suits out there. There are a few other wee features like the Velcro straps, there's going to be a boonie hat, there's going to be a sniper mask. I've only got the hood on at the minute, but obviously with the sniper mask, the front of your face will be a lot more hidden. There's Velcro down along the waist of the suit, just so whenever you're putting on your battle belt, it'll attach onto it and it definitely won't slip on you. Trousers have braces, which is a really nice feature. Sometimes the elasticated waistband can go over time and they start to drip down and there's not belt loops. Whip them up and those things aren't coming down. Now, I obviously had a video last week which I was crafting the suit, but I'll just go into what I've done just in case you missed it. All I've done to my suit, some con camo ribbons, some raffia that was sent out by Novritsch, some of the Novritsch leaves, some of my leaves that I've painted, and that's pretty much it. There's loads and loads of loops, as I've said, for natural vegetation. I also mentioned this in my last video, but I craft very little on the front and back of my suits because I wear a backpack and a chest rig that kind of covers that and bulks me up. The shoulder straps bulk up my shoulder area. So with the big hood and everything, this suit works great for that. Just to let you know, at the minute there's only a one size fits all. This is a large, I'm 5'6" or 5'7". It fits me okay. It's a wee bit baggy, the trousers shoulders are a wee bit long, but it just adds to the shape for me personally. I do know people who are very, very tall, and they have said that it came short on the arms, so just be aware of that. I also seen on Novrich's stories that he's actually going to be selling the mesh, possibly just in sheets that you can use as scarves, or possibly even craft rifle wraps yourself. I do have the 2 rifle wraps, which I want to talk on individually and show you exactly how I've crafted it. I've done a wee bit of work to them, but I'll keep that for another video. Last weekend was our first weekend out shooting, and I decided to run with this ghillie suit, and it did me really well, as you can see. Bang. As a beginner, you may not want to spend £200 on a suit, so this is ideal. You may just want to buy the jacket just to start off with and wear combat. That's what I do the majority of the time. I don't actually wear leaf suit bottoms. If you get the suit, you'll be able to adjust it to whatever way you want if you're a master crafter. So guys, get practicing. I've got a video up. I think Fox Green's going to have a video up, and I'm sure there's lots of other people out there. Please, please, please don't flood your suits with artificial leaves. It doesn't look right. I've used some artificial leaves on my suit, but I haven't gone mad with them. The reason being is you want to look as boring as possible to the human eye. You don't want to attract attention. So if you've got loads of artificial leaves and it's not right for your scenario, you're going to stick out like a sore thumb. So remember that. Check out my last video if you haven't done the suit and see how I've crafted mine. If you're on Instagram and you've bought the suit and you've crafted it, please don't hesitate to tag me in it and I will check it out. If you have any other questions, please ask me on Instagram or drop me a comment down below. Like, subscribe, share, and hit that notifications bell if you want to see more footage. Like I said, I was out this weekend running it, and I've got some excellent gameplay to show you. Anyway, I'm away. Peace.